Good morning. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter weekend. I'm going to give it a few minutes as I know this isn't my normal time to teach, but yesterday was very much about Easter egg hunts and chocolate. I'm just going to adjust this slightly. So while everybody is figuring out if they want to join today's class live, one of the things that came up to me when I was thinking about every time I come to teach, there's always a kind of few minutes before where there's a theme or something that arrives in terms of what we might need for that practice for that day. And with Easter being very much about the story of, the story of Jesus and the resurrection. And if you're a Christian, then you'll know where the history of Easter comes from a little bit more in depth. I do feel like there's obvious kind of newness to spring, and this idea of resurrection was playing out in my thoughts, because it's been a few weeks now where I think most of us have kind of gotten into or through this process of what's happening, how can I respond, what needs to be done, how do I feel about it, and we've been doing our best to really kind of ride the waves of what that looks like for each of us day to day. And sometimes we're still kind of feeling these upheavals of, I thought I had a handle on what's going on, and all of a sudden we get this emotional hit or rush. So with this idea of resurrection, it's something that the yoga practice speaks to quite often. And when we are, especially when we're in an active yoga practice, right, the heat, the tapas of the practice has this really powerful ability to create transformation and shift. Transformation being a shift, a bridge in perception, a change in attitude, a new way of seeing, a new way of feeling, all those types of things. So with all of this new life springing up around us, literally, I walk the neighborhood with my daughter and my dog, and there's tulips and daffodils and all these things sprouting up. We can really take this time to kind of look internally as to what is it that we would like to move into, not focusing on the details of confinement in our home or limited in terms of our work at the moment, because that will change, right? It will change, and we know that the one thing in life that's constant is change. So what can we take from the theme of what would I like to see, what would I like to grow, what would I like to create in the now, right? It's very different than thinking about your 6-month goals or whatever it is that you'd like to see happening in the summer or the fall, but what can we do now? And one of the things that came to me was some of my basics that sometimes get a little lost in the shuffle. Drinking a lot more water. I'm usually really good at this. Drinking some more water, flushing it out. I do like my wine, especially in the evenings. Drinking more water, right? I'm pretty good at moving steadily, but can I move in a way that's not rushed? So can I move through the daily activities that are sometimes a little bit tedious? Can I move in a way that's not rushed and really integrated, exactly like I would on my yoga mat? But can I do that when I'm folding laundry, climbing the stairs with, all these bags, whatever it is? Can I move so that my body doesn't feel rushed? There's really not as much pressure on our time. So can I move in a way that still keeps me integrated and connected to my breath and to where I'm at, literally in the moment? The third one that I was thinking about is, lately all this sunshine always brings out a more energetic side of me. I'm a sun worshiper. What can I create? What can I can bring space into my day that allows me to not just be a mother, clean the house, to get everybody fed, clean up, get ourselves presentable? What can I do that feels, and also at the end of the day, there's usually a period I think most of us need to decompress. So whether that's, a show or a bath, that's very different than spending time kind of plugging into your creative side. And I've just spent the yesterday gardening, and it feels so much like that speaks to me right now. Can I write more to my students, to my newsletter? Can I play with the idea of drawing freeform, not with my daughter, but just for myself? What can you do? Can I dress up more? Can you find things within yourself that maybe you need to resurrect or touch back on that really help you bring a sense of energy, right? Because we're all basically figuring out on our mats and off our mats, how can I manage this, the container of me, in terms of not just thoughts, emotions, physical energies. How can I do that by listening to what makes me thrive and what makes me drained, right? It's a very simple kind of equation. Can I increase the amount of things that make me thrive, right? So that's what we're going to move into practice today. It's going to be a little more contained, meaning there might be a little bit more alignment cues, right? Hugging in and up, especially after a weekend where we probably have been eating a little bit more sweets, doing our thing, relaxing. So that's where we're going today. We're going to start, hi to everybody who jumped on while I was chatting, with sitting up nice and tall. You're going to bump yourself back so that your sit bones are kind of pointing to the back of your mat. If you're sitting on a cushion, you might take a moment to lean forward and just rock from side to side. Good. Move your mouth. When you feel like you found that center point in the center of your pelvis, you're going to interlace your fingers and start to rotate your wrists in figure eights. Good. Take a nice slow breath in. Slow breath out your nose. And feel free to do less or more always. Inhale again. Exhale out. Starting to connect and hear or feel the little movements or clicks in your wrists. Inhale. Exhale, sensing that pause right at the top and your bottom of the breath when you slow yourself down. There's that moment where nothing needs to happen. Again, inhale if you haven't already, switching the direction of your rotations. Pause at the top, sit taller, and exhale right back down. Good, you're going to send your palms forward, away from your chest. Pull your fingers back quite strongly till you feel this in the center of your palms, and plug your shoulders down like you've got someone encouraging them, just palms pressed downwards on your shoulders. You're going to take a big breath in. Drop your head to the left. And then try and breathe into the right lung, right ribs. Exhale, press your thighs down, draw your belly in and up. Good. Inhale your head to center slowly, feeling that stretch. And exhale, drop it to the other side, over to the right shoulder. You might feel very different, both sides of the neck. Inhale here, left side of the ribs, left lung expands and opens. And exhale, plug that left shoulder blade another inch down into your body. So as you breathe in, try and direct the breath to the back body. And as you exhale, drop your head a little deeper towards that right shoulder. Inhale your head to center. You're going to round your back, push your palms forward high. Push your palms forward as far as you can till you feel a really obvious stretch between your shoulder blades. You're going to take a big breath between them. And you're going to exhale, pull your belly button back and really round. Good. On your inhale, use your legs to press down. Lift your arms up, and then you're going to keep your palms facing forward, and you're going to slide your hands a little bit further. So what this is doing is really opening across your chest, right? Lift your gaze to a place that doesn't feel too intense. Like you're laying on the grass, taking in the sun, breathing through your nose. Each exhale, drop your shoulders down and in slightly. If you feel pretty kind of confident with your spine and your back bends, you might take it a little further. Just make sure it doesn't affect or cause the breath to shorten. Let's take one more inhale together. Exhale. Good. Scoop your belly button to your lower back. Come up nice and slowly and draw your palms onto your chest, right? The mudra of unshakable trust. It's really holding your own heartbeat in your hands, and you're going to close your eyes. If you've just jumped on, welcome. Feel yourself in this moment. Almost like you're cutting ties, cutting grass. Little snippets of thoughts are being released that you don't need for this practice. Removing all of the roles, the necessities, or the priorities that you usually occupy your thoughts and focus. Just letting yourself settle into your sit bones. Really feel yourself arrive. And let's add a little drop out in front of the third eye. A little moment to be grateful for the body that you have, that supports you, that's working with you, even when it's showing you symptoms, that's trying to work with you. And then sense the other people that might be either doing this class or will be doing this class or practicing on their own or practicing in other classes. Just sense the amount of people also doing their best to practice awareness and presence. This mass ocean of people showing up. Take one more breath just to feel your lungs expand. And release it out. Good, and then squeeze your eyes tightly, move your nose, pinch your mouth, and then open your gaze, blink rapidly a few times, really fast. Open and shut, open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. Good, and then big breath in. Stick your tongue way out. Awesome. Release your hands, give them a little shake. Here we go. So you know that I usually take a little bit of time to just bring us all into our breath before we start moving. Move yourself onto your mat if you're not already. Bump any props off to the side. And come onto all hands, or all fours, so hands and knees. Let's take a moment to turn our hands back today. So wrists are either palms are flat or wrists are protected on the fingertips, your choice. Turning fingers towards your knees and then walk your knees right back underneath your hips. You can extend your right leg, good, nice and long. And then puff up your spine and look underneath you as much as you can. It feels a bit funny. And then inhale, do the opposite, lift your gaze. Keep that right leg straight and exhale, round. Good, one more time. Inhale, extend your throat, your neck. Exhale, round. Good, inhale, look forward and up. You're going to take your toes to the floor, plant your palms if you're on fingertips, and now really round. And you might even lift that left knee if you're feeling strong. So breathe 2 breaths here. Really puff up your back, pull that right heel forward so the leg is charged. And then set your left knee down slowly, lift your right leg up. Good, bend your knee and take 3 big circles with that right knee. Try not to look up so the back of your neck feels too congested. You might look slightly forward on your mat. Last big circle in. Good, take your knees together, sit back on your toes, and you're going to reach your palms face up. Big breath in. Exhale up your mouth. Take your palms down in front of you. Your feet and your knees are together, and you're going to hover your knees off the mat. You're going to lean forward on an in-breath, just playing with gravity. Exhale, lean back to your feet. Swim forward, your spine is long. There's no tension in your jaw. Exhale, back to your feet. One more time. Forward, pressing fingertips deeply into the mat. Exhale, back. Good, drop your knees down. Tense your fingers around your spine like a cat, chin to chest. Big breath in. Exhale, tongue out. Other side. Let's turn the palms again. So either fingertips or palms flat depending on your wrists. Separate your knees. Left leg is reaching out. Now the point of this is to get that extension with a lift in the left thigh. So as you inhale, look up. Keep the leg straight. Exhale, round. It's going to feel resisting. Okay, it's going to feel like something is an inhale, letting you move deeper. You want to listen to that. So as you exhale, it might be your mid-back feels sticky. Let's try one more. Inhale here. Exhale, round. Maybe that left leg's tired. Look forward as you breathe in, lower your left knees, plant your palms flat, and you're going to puff up your spine, really using that back foot now. You might lift your right knee up and charge for 2 breaths. Really using your fingertips, trying not to fatigue your wrists. Dropping your right knee down. Look forward as you inhale. Out your mouth, take your knees together again. Let's lower onto our forearms, interlace the fingers, giving the wrists a little bit of release. So we're going to hover the knees for 3. You can wave back and forth if you'd like, or just work stillness. Breathe for 2. Moving shoulders down your back, off your neck. Last one. On your exhale, you're going to slowly lift your hips, keeping feet together. Soft bend in the knees and press your chest and belly back to your thighs. Let's breathe for 3. Good. Breathe for 2. Try and slide your shoulder blades a little wider and let your head just hang. Breathe for 1. Inhale, look forward at your fingers. Walk your feet back and let your knees drop down. Take your fingertips to the corners of your mat. You're going to create big circles. Doesn't matter which direction. Exhale back to your heels. So 3 rotations in one direction. Last one. And then switch. Inhale. Start to really increase your ujjayi breath. Soft, steady, wave-like sound. Last one. Good. Coming back onto all fours, planting palms flat now, lengthening your throat, take your knees together. Left leg's going to reach out back behind you. You're going to take your 3 circles. Try not to shift your weight too much in your chest. Last one. One more time. Our toes are tucked. You're going to lift and hover the knees. If you want to add more, you can rock from the outside of your left foot to the outside of your right foot. This is also going to maybe give you a little twist in the low back. Let's take one more breath, or you're just here. Big inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Gorgeous. Let's lift our hips, walk our feet, taking mini steps towards the top of the mat. You can work with your feet separated. I'm going to work with my feet together today. Let yourself hang. Fully release your spine. Palms face up is a nice way to connect to the earth. Big breath in and out. Hugging your thighs to center. Sweep your arms up. Come all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do 2 A's. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your neck. Inhale. Let your sternum lean forward. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Right away, let's do the first one to the belly. Slide your toes back, cobra. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Lower down. Let's do a half push-up. Knees stay on the floor. Inhale, up. Elbows nice and close. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Let's walk our feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, our heels high. You're going to bend your knees quite deeply today and play with either a quick step or a hop forward. Lengthen. Good, and bow. Hug your thighs and squeeze your knees like you're holding a tiny marble between them. Hands to your heart. Again, inhale a little faster. Exhale, bow, lean to your big toes. Drop your head. Inhale, lengthen. Tailbone up, sternum forward, step the opposite leg back, right away, lower halfway or all the way down, your choice. Inhale, breathe in, lift your gaze, your throat. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can also modify going to the floor. 2 breaths here. Step your toes together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your heels high. Plug into your fingertips, bend your knees wide, quick little step or hop forward, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Sweep your arms to stand, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 Surya Bs. Inhale, chair pose. Take a moment to hook your thumbs out in front of the crown of your head. and sink into your heels a little deeper. Okay, pull your low ribs in, relax your jaw. Big breath in here. Sit a little deeper. Lift your gaze if it's not already. Exhale, straighten your legs slowly and bow. Lift and lengthen on in breath. Exhale, quick step or hop back, lower right away. Inhale, smooth, nice and slow, lifting chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward slowly. Turn your back heel and rise. No need to rush. Exhale, root back down through your fingertips. Push your right foot back and lower. Exhale. Inhale, up through your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps right away. Turn your right foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower back down. Push off your front foot and lower. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. 2 breaths, downward facing dog. Walk your toes together, back of the mat. Lift your heels high, still warming up. Exhale, bend your knees deeply, quick step or hop. Lift your chest halfway. Sit down into your chair, sweep your arms up, look up. Exhale, come to stand. Take a breath. Ground your heels. Chair pose again. Right into it. You're starting to feel a little bit of heat. Hook your thumbs. Now really lower your chest this time, almost to Ardha Utkatasana, so that halfway point. Good, big breath in. Slide your butt back. One more inhale. Lean forward on your toes and bow, curling your forehead in this time. Lift and lengthen halfway. Quick step or hop back, lowering halfway all the way to the floor. Your choice, upward facing or cobra. Downward facing, push off your left foot. Step through to warrior one. Rise on an in-breath. Exhale, lower down smoothly, no rushing. Step back and descend. Inhale. Big bright breath. Exhale, right away your right foot's turning, your left foot stepping. Rise on up. Exhale, root back down. Step back. You choose if you get tired to take a little cobra variation. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Walking our feet together, lifting our heels high, bending our knees wide, that quick step or jump forward, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Chair pose, reach the arms up. Sit low in the heels. Big breath in. Exhale out. Good, inhale, rise up, lift your gaze. Hands to your heart. Good. Take your hands to your waist and lean into your left foot. So you're going to lean down into your left foot and lift onto your right toes. Okay? When you lift your knee up, try not to move your chest 3 big circles with your right knee. Getting a little hot. Last one, your toes are flexed as wide as they go. Draw your right knee out in front of you. Keep the toes lifting. Hands still on your waist. And place your foot just above your left thigh. You're going to take the moment to just draw your knee down and back as you push your right hip forward. Okay, beam your chest straight in front of you. If you feel comfortable here, you're going to reach your arms up and just keep your palms facing in. Okay, ribs in, beam your chest up and hold. If this is enough, stay here. Or reach for that left wrist and lift up and over to the right. Make sure your standing leg is slightly bent. You're not locking that knee out. You're not relying on your joints to kind of take the weight. One more breath here. Good. Draw yourself belly into spine, back to center. You're going to take your right hand onto the right thigh, left hand onto your foot, and try and lift the whole thing a little higher up your thigh. Now you're going to sit down into your chair for 3. One thing to watch is the shoulders do like to drop down and forward. So you want to think about drawing them into your back body and watching that little belly curve so your low ribs are in. Good, big breath in. Sit a little lower in your left leg if you can. Last breath. Good. Pushing down through your left thigh. You're going to lastly draw your right knee up for 3. Try your best to lean forward. High, high, high if you're joined. Do your best. Good. If you're feeling really strong, hands at your heart. Last one. Big breath in. If your hands are at your knee, take your hands to your waist. Let's all have our hands on our waist. You're going to kick your right foot out as high as it goes, and then step back slowly to your high lunge. So I'm going to just jump my left foot in and forward. Hands still on your waist. Okay? Big breath in. Lower down, almost touching the back knee to the floor. So get up and lower down. So brighten up and lower down. Try 2 more. You might even lift your gaze as you straighten your back leg and lower down. Really hugging your outer hips in. Lower down. Good. This time, high lunge. You're going to straighten that back leg as much as you can and sink into your front knee for 3. This opportunity to really settle for 2. Last one. Sweep your arms forward and up, big breath in. A little different today, so take your hands to your heart center. You're going to lean forward and hop your right foot down into your chair pose again. Stepping to the top of your mat, you're going to sweep your arms up and over to the right. Arms up and to the left. Okay, sweep yourself slowly, lifting gaze and to the right hip. Inhale, keeping knees right over your heels, left hip. Inhale up. You're going to take your hands to your heart and pulse for 5. This is where that heat comes in. For 4, feet or hips distance. You can play with a small movement for 3, 2, and 1. Stand up all the way, reach your arms to the sky, open them, and exhale, fold all the way down to the floor. Good. Lift up and lengthen halfway. Take your feet together and take yourself to your toes, slowly coming into a toe squat. Let's start with our knees together today. So a lot of this hugging in, really fantastic for joints, amazing for your digestive tract, lower back, right? So high on your toes. If you can, inhale, right hand to your knee. Don't think, just explore. Exhale, left hand to your knee. Sitting your spine up tall. Hug in with your knees, hug in with your thighs, hug in with your heels, and breathe. If you want more, you're going to draw your arms out, fingertips nice and lightly connect, shoulders onto your back. Good, big breath. Tongue out. Now keeping this hugging in action, when you place your palms down, spring back, lower right away, inhale, upward facing, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, exhale at your mouth. You're going to sweep your right leg up into the air, turn your hip, rotate it open, okay, versus taking it down to the floor, rotate it open, and lift high onto your left toes. Let's look forward at our thumbs, and step right between our hands. Turn your back heel for warrior 2. Come on up. And let's make our stance a little longer today. Why? Because we can. Okay? Thumb and index fingers touch. Big breath in. You're going to take your head to your left shoulder. Think about the sides of your waist lifting. Okay, 2 little kind of dangling ornaments between your thumb and your index finger. And explore moving your head in a slow circle. Don't look for perfect, just explore. Do your best to have your shoulders plugging down your back and your hands at the same height as your shoulders. Last one. Good. Lifting your head up to the center. Take your hands above your head, cross your palms, straightening that left leg. Right leg, excuse me. Starting to pour forward towards a triangle pose, but pause. Big breaths. One thing to note here is your front leg is further than normal, so it's a long stance. You want to make sure there's a lot of weight on the inside of your right foot. Okay, ready? Big breath in. You might take hands to your waist, or you might go into the full pose. If the floor is too far, take hands to the waist and just work that front leg. If your hands are extending open from the middle of the chest, lean back for 3, 2. Let's beam that top arm overhead. Good, look down to the floor. Both hands on the other side of your right foot. Now lift your back heel. You're going to pivot, still a very long stance, longer than normal. You're going to keep pressing your inner right thigh back and lifting your chest. Okay, big breath in. Drop your heart down and forward. Long lines here. Breathe again. And exhale out. Strong back leg. Last one. Good, let's melt the back knee to the floor and come to the outside of the right foot. You're going to have to adjust your hands a little further forward. Variation of pigeon here. Okay, lift your chest up. Exhale out your mouth. You might sway from side to side. This feels good. Trying to listen to the right amount of flexibility versus strength and resilience that your body is needing. Most of us have a build that relies more kind of swiftly or leans more swiftly to one end of that spectrum. Last breath. Good, pulling your outer hips in, lift your pelvis slightly, take your right foot flat, push into your back toes, inhale, lift your knee, step forward, that's a big step, and bow. Good, take a moment, shake your head out, lift up and lengthen, exhale, bow. Rise to stand on an inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's clear that with the vinyasa. So inhale if you have a different variation. Exhale, add it in. Lift and lengthen your spine. Step back quickly. Cobra or upward facing. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Here's that long, steady inhale. Long, steady exhale. Again. Walk your toes together at the back of the mat. Lift your heels. Bend your knees wide. Quick step or spring forward between your hands. Lift up and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Good. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands at your heart. Slide your hands onto your waist, look straight ahead of you, lift onto your left toes. Inhale slowly, without moving your gaze if you can. Take those 3 circles with your left knee, drawing in space. You really have to focus on the standing leg. Inhale, sweeping your knee out in front of you, landing your ankle over the right thigh, and starting to sit down slowly into your chair. Good, you can keep your hands on your waist. You can reach your arms straight forward, whatever feels like the right option for you. For 3. Breathing into that left hip. 2. Last one. Taking your right hand to the foot, left hand to the thigh. Lift the leg up. Stand as tall as you can. For 3. Keep working your right hip back, your chest forward. Stand tall, last breath. Folding your knee into your left armpit, hands to your shin. Stand as tall as you can for 3. For 2. Last one, lift your heart. Good, kick that left leg forward. Lift yourself up. Slowly step back to your high lunge. Keep your hands on your waist until you've got the right distance. Okay, looking straight ahead. Hands on your waist. Big breath in and bend till your knee almost touches down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip. Steady in your front foot. Inhale, like your toes are trying to pick up the mat. Exhale. Let's do 2 more. Good. Inhale, lift. Reach your arms out into full extension. Settle into that low thigh. You might even inch your foot forward, right? Whatever you need to do. Maybe take it into a back bend if that feels juicy. Big breath in. Let's clear out the mouth. Hands to the heart. Remember, a little different. Lean forward halfway. Your left foot stepping into your chair pose. Feet hips distance. Sit into that. Feel your thighs working. Sweep your arms up. Hands to the left hip. Get the breath going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sit into your heels. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more each side. Hands to your heart. Sit nice and low. Inhale, reach up, open your arms. Take a vinyasa, fold. Inhale, lift. Bend your knees. Step, hop back. Downward facing dog. Now, pause for a moment and take your feet a little wider than normal to the edges of the mat. You're going to keep your hands where they are and bend your elbows down. Hugging elbows in strongly. Pull your low ribs up and press your chest back. So really feeling the back of the calves, back of the hamstrings, hugging those elbows in strongly, breathing around your neck for 3. For 2. Last one. Straightening the arms out. Walk your toes together. Come forward to your plank pose. Look forward. Drop your heart down slightly. Pull your belly button up. Slow breath. Slow exhale. So anytime we commit to something, it has its moments. Inhale again. Usually the beginning is the easy, exciting part. Exhale. Lean forward with your heels. Inhale. Fire up your arms, hug them in, exhale. Last one, inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips slowly up and back to downward facing dog. Left leg's gonna reach up into the air. Let that hip stack. Spread your toes high onto your right foot and step through for your warrior 2. So take your time, rising up, and then flip your palms face up. Get that thumb and index finger mudra. Plug your shoulders down your back. Okay, when you feel steady in your stance, head goes to the right shoulder. Really try and draw your ribs in. Slow circles with your head. You know best what feels safe. Maybe not going all the way back if you're still feeling wobbly or a little bit shaky today. Maybe stillness is best. Day to day it's going to change. 2 more breaths. Last one. Take the palms up overhead. Cross the hands, let that front leg straighten slightly, and lean forward with that left hip pressing to the back of your mat. Not in a rush, not in a rush. Good, your chest is when you're going to want to drop down. Keep turning your ribs open. First variation, hands to your hips, pulling belly in, right, leaning only until you start to feel yourself collapse. Bottom hand comes down, right hand comes up if that's your option. Breathe it open. Last one. Stretch that right arm forward and take both hands on either side of your left foot. You're going to lift your right heel, pivot so your heel and foot is facing forward, and stay nice and high on the fingertips. Really work your chest forward. Pour weight to the inside of that left foot. Breathe for 3. Good. Breathe for 2. Nice and long extension. Good. Drop your right knee down and come to the outside of your left foot. Walk your hands a little further forward to create some space. And keep tucking that left hip back. You might swim around here, whatever your body wants to do for 3 breaths. Exhale. Good. Drawing your big toe to the floor, lift your back knee. You're going to step forward on an inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Circle your arms up to stand. Move through a vinyasa, clearing that out. Exhale, folds. Inhale, lift. Bend your legs. Step or quickly hop. Inhale here. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Good, lift your heels high, bend your knees, look where you're going, quick step or hop forward, lift and lengthen, exhale, bow. So one more time, chair pose. Here's where the fire really gets going because we've already done our chair poses. Yes? No, let's do more. So left leg's gonna pull up slowly and you're gonna cross your ankle one more time. Okay, so starting to drop your chest down and forward without rounding, so keep your chest moving to the front of your mat and breathe. Feel the shoulders move into the back body and really press down into that right thigh. Good, one more inhale. You're gonna take your hands to the top of your thigh, sole of your foot, and come on up. Now, 2 options. Interlace your hands around your foot and just keep pressing your left thigh down. Okay, option 1, staying here. Option 2, letting your left foot move a bit higher and taking it into your right elbow. It doesn't need to happen today. Okay, lift your heart for 3, 2, last one. Okay, with that nice open hip, you're going to take your knees side by side. With that open hip, you're going to start to send your foot back. So I'm working your left foot back. Left foot back. Breathe your heart open. If you know full dancer's pose, you can take your way into it. Otherwise, just stay with the balance today. If you want to grab that left foot with your left hand, go for it for 3. Whatever you feel you got. 2. Wrap your ribs forward. Last one. Draw your knees side by side. Feet together. Interlace your hands. Push the floor away. And then forward and up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's vinyasa that through. Lengthen. Plant your palms. Step, hop back. Upward facing. Downward facing. 2 breaths here. Walk your feet together. Once more, lift higher to your toes, bend your knees, quick little hop, and lift. Right, so it doesn't need to be all the time like a big thump. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. So stand for a moment, breathe in, out your mouth. Now that right leg is going to lift up very slowly. As you sit down into your chair, cross the ankle over your thigh and sit as deeply as you can. With your chest coming down almost like it's folding. Right, this nice, slow, steady movement, listening to so many parts of the pose. Your breath, what your face wants to do in response, waking up those Right toes, softening shoulders. Let's take 3 more. Really warm the breath through the ujjayi. Last one. We need heat to create change, right? Hands to the foot and top of the thigh. Press down through that left leg to stand. Now you can choose just to hold the foot. This is actually a lot more comfortable unless you really want to explore where your body will allow you to kind of move. Keep the toes active. If you want to play with the variation in your elbow, press your foot into your elbow, press your elbow back to your foot for 3. Stand tall for 2. Last one, lift your gaze. Holding your ankle, coming out of that very slowly. Knees side by side. So we were talking about the right leg. Kick your arms back, your heel away from your heart. Breathe. If you want the full dancer's pose, right hand reaches for the right foot. Left arm up. Move in for 3. Right, from day to day it's different. Feeling into space with your back foot. Taking it a little further. Last one. We'll rise up. Step your feet together. Interlace your hands. Push the floor away, round your upper back. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, rise. Vinyasa cleared out. Downward dog, 2 breaths. Look forward. Walk your toes together. Good. Inhale high to the tiptoes. Knees bend wide. This time you're hopping to your seat. Good. Couple of options. Place your feet flat. If your hips are okay, your lower back's okay, you're going to cross your left shin in front of your right. Okay, so this is some core before we chill out. Left shin in front of your right. You take your hands behind you and come onto your elbows. I know it feels a little funny. Okay, big breath in, out your mouth. Your right arm is going to reach up and across. Okay, you're going to get a little twist. One more breath. Lowering your right elbow down so your chest stays quite elevated. Left arm reaches up on an inhale and across. Now keep your spine as long as you can so you're not collapsing. And feel this little twist, right? Usually in the mid-back. As far as you want to reach, as far as you want to reach. Inhale, left arm up, elbow to the floor. Now you're going to lift your legs up and cross. Right shin in front. Now we're coming on to the back with the head off the floor. You're going to turn your palms up. Okay, big breath in. Relax your legs, exhale, little crunch. That point where you can't really lift any higher is where you're going. Inhale down, exhale, little crunch. Try to get out of your hips and into your core, little crunch. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Relax your jaw. Might not feel like much at first. Inhale. Exhale, legs are heavy. You're not relying on your hips or your buttocks to lift you. Let's do 5 more. Little crunch, maybe higher. 3, 2. Last one. You're going to hold here. Pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take your hands behind your head. Lower your head down for a moment. Big belly breath in. Up and out your mouth. Keeping your head in your hands. You're going to draw your knees together. Squeeze your feet and knees like they're one. Lift your feet up. Exhale them halfway forward. Push your head into your hands as you do this. So inhale, back up. And exhale almost to the ground. Squeeze your legs. Inhale, back up. Now your low back is super heavy in the mat. Halfway down. Halfway down, you're going to inhale, open them wide. Spread your toes and cross your right leg over your left. Inhale, wide. left leg over the right. Inhale wide. Keep those legs active. Right leg over the left. Inhale wide. Exhale, left leg over the right. Good. Inhale wide. Take your feet together. Now very slowly for the count of 3, start to lift your feet back up. 2. Good. 1. Push your heels to the ceiling and lower. Inhale, lift, lower. Your tailbone's coming an inch off the floor, lower. Let's do 8. Exhale. 7. Keep squeezing your legs in. 6. Feel your toes spread wider. You can see the ceiling through them. 5. Even I'm trying to work my feet right above my hips instead of letting them swing around, right? Straight up, straight down. 3. I think I'm counting right. 2. Last one. Good. Take the back of the knees. Separate the knees, but keep the feet together. You're going to lift your chest and just rock from side to side. You can do small circles, right? Flaring your toes so that you're protecting your knees. Good. One more breath. Wherever you're directed to move. And you're going to rock yourself onto your shoulders and exhale up to your seat. Okay, to finish, we're going to do 2 postures. Butterfly. Pressing your big toes together. Lift your heart up on an inhale. Take your time releasing your shoulders and pour forward in your hips. So think about rolling your whole belly forward as you bow. Good. Taking your hands out in front of you. Spreading your fingers but softly and letting your head fold in last. 5 breaths here. There's always room to receive the practice if you slow down enough to receive it. So taking your time, rolling up. Our last posture before Shavasana is Paschimottanasana, folding everything in. If you know your hamstrings are tight, take a little bend in your knees. Just rock from side to side. Find your sit bones, toes are spread. Inhale, reach your arms up. Place your palms in, and then think about moving from your hips. So come forward slowly, looking past your feet, past your feet. Feel your lower back. If all of a sudden you feel any tweaking, too much tension, it's not feeling great, just pause, hands underneath your calves. If you're still going, keep looking forward, keep looking forward, keep looking forward, and grab your ankles or the outsides of your feet. Big breath in. Bow for 5. Feel free to take more time here if you'd like. Stay if it feels right to stay longer, otherwise rounding up through your spine. You're going to manually let your legs, guiding them a little wider, giving them space, and then rolling down with a rounded back. So just kind of curl into your back body and spread the skin and yourself out so that everything feels spacious. Use your elbows to lift your chest and open your arms wide. Close your eyes, take a moment to swallow. Take a nice clearing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're going to continue to rest on your back while I talk you through closing. Letting your breath recede slowly in waves, just feeling yourself settle in. Almost like there's a mold made with the perfect fit for your body in the earth, like soft, kind of wet soil. Slight sag into the floor. And as you feel yourself aligned in the same plane, the same level, you can sense this restoring balance return. So your scattered tendency, your multitasking just ceases, so that there is only now. Just catching a moment to imprint the actual ease and the release when you stay in the now. Feeling yourself quiet but full. Full of life, full of breath, full of color. And you let the eyes relax even deeper into the head. And if you feel drawn, take your right hand to your chest and connect to your own heartbeat. Resting in that rhythm for as long as you need today. And I'll close with a prayer. May we support each other in the growth that happens on our mat. And may we remember and embrace that there is constant newness and constant depth. Where we place our focus tends to be where we get stuck. Learning to dance between the two, breath by breath, becomes our birthright, becomes our freedom, and helps us move forward into the places and the spaces and the person we're meant to become. May you soak in your breath for as long as you need today. Thank you for joining me. Though I can't see you, I can feel you all. Namaste. Take care.